Here's a sentence that most people would agree with. Movies are inspiring. And here's a sentence that loses the majority of people I interact with. Movies can be dangerous. See, I don't see much of a difference here, and I don't really think you can have one without the other. Inspiration goes both ways. How can you go around saying a film has changed you for the better without the admission that it's possible to happen the other way? I mean, I get that acceptance of this could mean a lot of repercussions, the main one being more censorship, which of course would suck and shouldn't necessarily be the case. But I don't think it should mean we ignore the responsibility we hold. There seems to be a tendency to read more deeply into a movie that, on its surface, feels like a celebration of wrongdoing.
Go ahead. Make my day.
I'm all for this. It helps us create meaning in something that otherwise would feel hollow.
The song's so catchy, most people probably don't listen to the lyrics. But they should, because it's not just about the pleasures of conformity and the importance of trends. It's also a personal statement about the band itself. Hey, Paul!
But it's also important to address the surface meaning. Let's look at Joker. I'm pretty not okay with this movie because its messaging is all over the place and it seems to relish in itself for no sake beyond what it's able to get away with. It has the substance of one of those prank videos you see on YouTube, all while putting on an air of importance. But beyond my judgment of its ego-stroking is a film about the mind of a soon-to-be murderer without any detachment from his point of view. In fact, the film's point of view is celebratory. That all sounds pretty cool, actually, but it's no doubt potentially destructive, right? I think the problem comes when you make this entire issue a binary. My friend Evan's point of view is that sure, maybe a film has inspired someone to do something violent or drastic, but they were going in that direction anyway, so it's not like it's the film's fault.
Is that your accurate viewpoint?
No comment.
But can't a film that pushes someone in that direction...
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration? I didn't mean to do that. Please, continue.
also be a problem without being the only problem? A boost in momentum or some validation of bad deeds disguised in cool characters and a badass soundtrack can still be incredibly dangerous. This is of course a spectrum, and impossible to quantify. We can say a movie is dangerous, but as to how dangerous is entirely subjective. The beauty and confusion of storytelling is that something can mean a million things all at once depending on the vantage point. A story about a frog who sees himself as a goat can also be about an ugly dude with lots of confidence, or about a poor girl with a brilliant mind. Which brings me to an example where I usually lose everyone. The Matrix is a dangerous movie. Maybe a necessary one for the time, but inherently dangerous. Lots of hindsight analyses have painted the film as a trans or anti-capitalist fable, but on its very surface, it's a group of people who see through the bullshit of their daily lives to the point where the people walking around them are either actively evil or expendable on the way to their goal of breaking free from monotony. And while I wouldn't go so far as to say that this film was a sole inspiration considering the killer's love for natural-born killers, but I also don't think it was entirely a coincidence that the two shooters in Columbine dressed in trench coats and boots with rifles in their hands just a month after this film premiered with characters looking eerily similar. But again, maybe this is the movie we needed in 1999. A year that has come to be known as a cumulative year for boredom, office jobs, and angst. The Matrix could have been the salvation for a whole group of people while at the same time fueling a societal hatred for another. I'm not saying The Matrix shouldn't have been made, I'm simply saying that movies are powerful, and to say they can't be destructive is entirely disingenuous. They change us, for better or for worse. And despite its reputation, Hollywood is probably the most influential place in the world. It's a powerful beast, full of people, places, and ideas that are begging for your conformity. Intentions are masked, introductions are warm and cozy, and it's unclear on how far you've come until you look back after it's too late. You grow, sure, but in which way is hard to say.
We're going to pluck and move our whole arm inward. We want to keep and pluck on a flat plane with the reed. We don't want to be plucking down or plucking up. That will result in a click. We're going to pluck straight back. So pluck straight back with me 4 times.
If you go to a big city anywhere in the world, you get a bunch of transplants.
You gotta spice up your life.
Of course, there are millions of people in Los Angeles whose families have been here for generations. I don't want to discount them. They're a huge part of what makes this city alive. But I don't think it's entirely in my head that Los Angeles' cultural identity is one of people moving here. I think that affects the atmosphere pretty heavily. Like, what's keeping us here? Opportunity. It's forward-looking.
Do you know what QR code is?
And that forward momentum is important, at least from a capitalistic standpoint.
Maybe in like the intensity in which I feel like I have to put out art or create things, like maybe I would feel a stronger drive to do those things if I wasn't as comfortably satisfied with like the simple life, or not simple, but you know what I mean? Like the life that I've unfortunately built, that if I wasn't getting such like real, genuine, like joy and satisfaction from those things, maybe I would push myself harder on other things.
But the difficulty comes when the momentum outpaces what we want. There's no doubt Hollywood has shaped me into somebody different, along with everyone around me.
Do you think that LA has changed you? You don't think at all?
Probably not, right?
Imagine the same age you in Philadelphia. Like, would that be a very different person?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. Coming here, I still curse a lot, but not as much as I did in Philly.
Maybe a little.
Were they going to try and play...
I'm definitely bougier now.
Bitchier?
Bougier.
Oh.
Do you think New York has changed you?
Yeah. I think I'm a lot cooler now. I got a buzzed haircut and got a girlfriend.
Are you happy you have a girlfriend?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
So it seems like for the most part, people are happy with the change. It's almost always seen as healthy. Even when I ask the question, can people change? The answers assume I'm talking about for the better.
I feel like the people that haven't need to experience more things.
Okay.
That's a growth mindset. We don't have to have a fixed mindset. Yeah. When I was 16, I was a light-skinned fucker. You know, leave that out. But I was a light-skinned kid, super conceited, changed, mind space, everything, energy, all that. That's what it is.
Do you feel like people can change?
Yeah.
In general. Don't we all?
In general.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What's the point if we can't?
It's a fucking dumb question.
But change being good isn't inherent, right? Nothing in the word implies that. Maybe our age is our bias. Maturity is still peaking, so it feels like good growth.
That's cool. We gotta hear it. What the hell?
Music has strangely become a bigger part of my life recently. Evan has the studio, so we stopped by and started jamming, despite my lack of singing ability. We were creating with no motives. Good growth was the last thing on our minds, and we ended up recording this silly little song with lyrics full of meaningless phrases.
Take it all away. Take it all away. Take it all away. Give it back to me.
We weren't searching, we were growing blindly. Going wherever felt cool. And I realize now that maybe that's the key to all of this. What is cool? Cool is a sense of effortlessness. Cool is following the beat of your own drum. Cool doesn't think, it does. Quentin Tarantino is cool. Natural Born Killers is cool. The Matrix is cool. Cool enables growth. Growth with intention is not cool. Cool is a vibe. Cool is putting images on screen and pairing it with drums. Los Angeles is cool. Los Angeles makes you cooler. Being cool is like feeling a flow that you don't want to leave, like a dance on its way somewhere. Like Icarus flying closer and closer to that sun. Destination unclear. Cool has its purpose. It's admirable. It's beautiful. But too much of it is hollow and dangerous. You'll eventually find yourself thrust outside of the flow for whatever reason, unsure where it left you off. Cool doesn't look back, and it doesn't check with the man in the mirror.
You were finished. You allow me to
what's right when you die.
At a recent barbecue in LA, a guitar came out and I requested new Slang. We fumbled our way through a rendition, which reminded me that the song was written by a young, anxious musician afraid the world was drifting past him too quickly.
The tricky one.
Gull takes to the wind.
He was the same age as us.
Like, don't let the shit see
break it
this.
down.
Yeah, this is not going so well.
The one night where I think I got it at this like really crowded bar.
So that's the concern. In a land in which the guiding light is cool, how do you live with substance? How do you stay true to a self when you're up here being taken by the wind?
Okay. All right, ready? Yeah. Okay.
Is it even possible?
Sick.
I better be in the video. If I'm not in the video, I'm gonna be mad. Can I give like what's like a good outro thing to say to, you know, like to be like to end the video, kind of like.
You can say Hard Hat Creek, baby.
Hard Hat Creek. Wait, get in it. Hard Out Creek or die. Hard Out Creek or die. In the video. Yeah, there we go.
Dude, that was it. That was it. That was it.